in this video, we'll be discussing about partitioning. Again, this is one of the most frequently used SQL syntax, I would say, because one of the most important feature about SQL is about automatically creating a subsets of data and then performing calculations on it. The function that creates subset, or let's say the partitions of data, is called partitioning. Now, the command that tells SQL to perform the calculation over the subsets is called it's called with the keyword named over. So first we will try to calculate the average on the subset of data, and then we will do the count, then we will count the number of records in the subset. Then we will do the rank of the record. Then we will also go through the row number, and then we will split the data set into a fixed number of subsets, or let's say types. Right, so let's start with the group by first. So select star from this one. So first let's calculate the average. So let's say sector, and then we have average of price, right? Let's call it average price, and then we will group by it, group by sector. Problem over here, it's not the group number, sorry. So that's why it was giving error. So it's basically company by sector. Right now this error should go. Okay, great. So this is what a normal average, or let's say a normal group by looks like. Now what we would like to create is to add more columns into this, right? But as we know, wherever we have to add, let's say, let me show you that example as well. So what I mean to say is select star from this table. So wherever we add one more column over here, we have to do the group by as well, which we don't want, right? So basically what we want is to add more columns, but then the group by should be only on the sector level. So for that, what we do, we use the partition. So let's comment this, Control KC. On this, what we can do is, let's say I want the company or description, right? I need description, and then I need the price, and then I need sector and over average price. But let's change this. Now here I will say over partition by, now I will call the sector. So this is basically what we are doing for the group by, right? And then we will call it as, let's say, average price. And let's remove this group by because we don't need it. We did it by the partition. Now if we run this query, so basically again we are doing the same thing. We are grouping, but then we are using the over partition on the sector level. So this is again, so over here, if you would like, you can may again add, let's say, ticker, right? And then run this. So what it is doing, basically it is allowing you to add more columns, but then it's not asking you to add a group by, which basically a bit, it's more complicated, I would say, because it's not, I mean, you will not get the correct data, right? So this is how we do the group by, or let's say the partition, right? Now next we will count how many companies are there in each sector, right? For that, we will use the count function with the over partition clause. So let's say, let me copy this table, and then let me select the sector, and then I need the count of the description, right? And then I need the over and partition by sector, right? So this is what we are doing. Now we can call it as company count, right? Now here, one of the sector should be a distinct one, it's just to avoid the repetition, right? So let me run this, and now we have the consumables, right? And then so basically we are listing down all those sectors, and within each sector how many companies are there, that can be calculated with the help of this over partition query, right? So again, this is one of the, I would say this query is again really useful, right? Okay, great. So we have done with our partition average, and then we also did the count. Let's order this as well. Order by company count descending F5. So now we have the maximum number of companies are in the process industry, right? Okay, great. Now let's work on rank. So let's call it select description, or let's say first select star from this table, right? Now, because if you don't select the table name, then you will not able to see which all columns are available. So let's say sector, let's say the price or description, price, and then the sector. Now what I'm doing is basically I need the rank over column, comma, and then partition by sector, right? Let me order as well, order by price. I'll come back to this, what we are doing, right? As stock price, let's give column name as rank as well. So what we have done over here, so we have partitioned the data with the sector column, right? And then sort the companies in each sector with the help of a rank, right? So these are the rank that it has been given. Each company has its own rank, or let's say each category is being given a rank from 1 to, let's say, the how many sectors are there for each company, right? And then as soon as the category changes, or let's say the sector changes, then the rank starts from 1 again. So basically for each sector we are giving the rank from 1 to the maximum number of companies that we have, right? And then we are also ordering it by price. So if you see, the 5571 is the maximum price within this sector, or let's say this category, right? So that's how it is now. But here the problem is, if the two companies have the same stock price, then their rank will be the same, right? So if the companies are same, right? If the companies are different, but the stock is different, or let's say still same, then their rank will be equal, right? So that's how it works. Now after rank we have the row number. So let's work on the row number as well. So it is similar to the rank, but we will change this rank into row number. And then if you see over here, if we run this, now it is giving the row number to each, again similar to the rank that we gave. But here the only difference is, even if the prices are same, it will have a different let's say the number, or let's say the row number, because it's basically creating a row number for each record, right, within the category. So this is the difference between the rank and the row number. I would say row number is less used. I think rank is mostly used. But yeah, I mean it depends on the requirement as well. Right. So then we are left with the NTILE. Now let me create this query as well. So we have select star from company by sector. Then let's take the description, and then we have price, sector, and then NTILE. Let's say it's 4, right? Over partition by sector and order by, let's say, the price, right? As stock price and type. So it's almost similar to what we did earlier. So let's understand what it is. Now, if you see, so basically this function can split the data into a fixed number of subsets, and the number of subsets in the is the integer argument of the nth tile function. Sometimes you may need to split your data into several bins, or let's say tiles. For that you can use this ntile function with the partition clause, right? If you see, with this sector itself is being partitioned like 4 times, because we have given it as 4. Let's say if I'm giving it as 10, right? And then if I run this, so basically now the sector is being partitioned into 10 times, right? So that's how it is. But this is not exactly correct, because the entire function does not always split the records into, let's say, equally sized tiles, right? They are almost about the same, but it's not strictly equal. And unfortunately, we cannot even control the number of records in each tile with NTILE function. So this is a drawback, I would say, because you cannot then, totally depend on the NTILE to let's say, divide the data into n number of records, right? So sometimes what we do, we basically check the size of the subset before using it. So let's say what we can do over here, let me just copy this so that it'll be easy for you to understand. So what I would do over here, select distinct factor. I do the bracket. Okay, the distinct sector. Then here we have price. Then let's say the count of description over partition by price, dot price, and tile as, let's say, description in tile, right? And this should come in bracket if I'm not wrong. Let's say a. This should be right unless our NTILE, I think there should be a from as well, from this data. Basically, we created a subquery, and within that we are, so now we have the data, right? Okay, I think this is more than enough for this video. Right. Thank you so much. Have a great day.